Yo, what is good, guys, and welcome back to another Chippy video. Today we are back with the gameplay videos. I know it's been a while, but we are back, and today we're going to be playing a game called the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, I do know. Now, the reason I said Ultra Deluxe is because apparently this version of the game is different than the base game. So, yeah, so I've never played this game before. I've never seen anything on it, but it got added to PlayStation Plus, and so I was like, you know what? I want to play this game because it looks interesting. It looks kind of funny. So I just thought it'd be a fun game to sit down and play with you guys. I think I'm going to make this a series, but if you guys don't like it, then I won't continue this. But yeah, let's just get straight into the gameplay. The end is never... What the f...
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yo, W?
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
That sounds boring as hell.
Others might have considered it soul-rending. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I don't know how with a job like that.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Uh-oh.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I'm controlling him. Yo! I've got no legs. Okay. I can't crouch or anything like that. I can't interact with anything. I could go through my chair, though. That's great. Oh. What? Why does it sound like I'm typing on the keyboard when I'm over here? Oh, there it goes. Oh, yeah. Literally nothing's happening. Okay. Can I go through here?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe. Okay. So I figured out that it's just the button clicks that sound like that. Cause look, this sounds like this too. That's weird. All right, I guess we're gonna go see if we missed a meeting or something. Oh my god, my camera is so slow.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So do I have to, like, follow the rules of the narrator? Alrighty.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not getting fired.
Stanley
Talk
decided
less.
to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworker for not supporting you more. That might be real, perchance. Oh, hell yeah. I can go in the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I guess we're going upstairs. Not that door. Here it is. Executive bathroom. Oh, hell yeah. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be you to have to pick just one. Alright. I'm gonna leave here. Don't know what the freak that was. Oh, Mr. Boss, sir.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
It's like the one episode of
What dark
SpongeBob where
secret
they
was
all
being
hide
held
from him for a day.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
Alright.
Of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay, so we're playing as a guy who can hear the narrator of his life. I forgot what he said the code
Stanley
was.
just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know.
Oh,
that
2845.
The combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the iPad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. And
Oh!
he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What the hell is this? There's a big ass button right here. I'm gonna click it. Oh, it's an elevator. Duh. Loading, loading, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, I don't think the elevator works anymore.
Stanley walked straight ahead.
Jesus
through the
Christ,
large
is this
door
game-
that read Mind Control Facility.
There's an escape route right here. Should I take that or should... I'm just gonna follow the narrator. So, what I do know is that there are multiple endings in this game, which I do want to try and get a few in this video.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Wow.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength
Oh,
to
bridge!
find out?
What is this place? How is this just under the office? Oh, there's another button.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their
Wow.
true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
Oh, that one said fired.
His co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
What the hell?
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This is not creepy at all.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
No, this is kind of
He
concerning.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Where am I
Had he truly
going?
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh,
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
mind control status
Happy,
offline.
Or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
What's down here?
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I'm assuming that's in the facility power. Oh, what's this? 5? Okay. Oh, I thought there was an opening in the gate right there. You probably can't even see that. It's dark as hell. Hang on. I can't seem to find the brightness. So I guess your guys are just gonna have to deal with not seeing anything.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. Off? What just happened?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Oh.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would
okay.
anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool
I think this is one of the endings.
feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. Oh, beat the game. Complete the Stanley Parable. Oh, okay. Get your first trophy. Awarded for getting any of the other trophies as your first. Okay, so I kind of want to play around with this and see if there's anything differently I can do. So maybe I could get like a different ending, or maybe something different happens. So I guess let's go.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So we went through the left door last time. Now what happens if we go through the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, sure.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Wow.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
This looks like the Subnautica title screen. All right, let's go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah, we going in here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible.
Bro. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off. How are you gonna pay that if you're dead?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be
we could go over there.
The fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone
I think I'm gonna jump.
Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? What? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you.
Danger, danger everywhere.
Beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay. So I might follow the narrator from here just to see what happens. All these doors are
Now
locked.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Bruh.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I still don't think we're communicating.
Bro.
Through the red door.
Alright, I guess we have to go through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you
Oh, I
see,
wonder why.
I have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
I'm stuck.
Here, let me show you.
Oh, okay. What just happened?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Am I high?
I actually feel happy.
I mean, it is pretty, but like, what is happening here? Honestly, I'm gonna leave the room.
No, wait. Where are you going?
We are leaving here, Mr. Narrator,
no.
sir.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Oh no.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
This is kind of cryptic, I'm not gonna lie.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Nah, I'm going again.
No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry, Narrator, it just has to be done.
Stanley,
Really?
let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much
Oh
you
no.
like my game? But you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know.
He sounds genuinely,
I just
like,
wanted us to
sad.
get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Oh. I feel low-key bad now.
Is it over? It's
Oh my
going to
God.
start, isn't it? I'm going back.
Was that it? What just happened?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yep, okay.
Me,
I didn't get a trophy
Stanley
for that,
decided
but...
to go to
Oh. Oh. I went outside.
First, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of
Oh
the
my
game's
God.
design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
It's a white
I'm
screen.
over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? Nah.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even
I'm
have thought
so
of it
lost
if
at what
I
he's
hadn't
even
brought up the
asking.
issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Why does it look like no again? I can't. So I'm just kind of stuck here. I kind of want to. No, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm gonna begin the game again. Alrighty, let's continue.
Decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Wait, I wonder what happens if we just keep coming back here. Because that was different dialogue. Whoa. One of the phones are ringing. It's this one. No. This one.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
Oh, okay.
At any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
That was it. Also, where's the narrator at? He's gone. I don't know how you're getting there. Mr. Narrator. Where you at?
When Stanley came
Oh,
to
okay,
a
he's
set of
back.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, we're gonna go back in the broom closet and see if he does anything different.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, he decided to
Bro!
go to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Dude. Ain't no way he locked up the closet. I'm gonna go down this time instead of up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. There's a piece of paper down there. I can't read it though.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Nothing
He
with the
considered
car.
the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
One,
And in
two,
such a
beef. Why is there
competitive
different
economy,
clocks?
Why had he taken that risk? All because
Oh
he
no,
believed
someone spilled coffee.
everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Am
All
I
of my coworkers
going through
blinking
the same
mysteriously
stuff
out of
again?
existence
Yep,
in a
okay.
single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he
Dude.
looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to
Bro.
himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Am I?
This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above.
Oh, what? I'm flying. Okay.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Oh,
it was so much fun, and Stanley marveled
okay.
he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Why is he still? This man never shuts up.
Magical stars just a moment ago. How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself
Oh, okay. Don't. Okay.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the...
I don't even know where I'm going anymore.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want
I have a
is my
wife?
life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
This is kind of depressing. Okay. I'm still in the dream. Yeah.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up.
Oh my God.
I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone.
What is
tell
going
me
on
I'm
with the
real.
screen?
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went.
Oh my God. That was low-key giving me hella anxiety.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But
Is
on
that
this particular
Stanley?
day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to
Oh
himself,
my
and
God.
then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Bro.
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, okay. Well then, that was interesting. Anyways, guys, that's gonna have to do it for this video. That game was probably the most I've laughed at a game in a really long time. That was really fun, and I will happily do more if you guys want me to. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you can get notified when I upload my next video. If you're a dedicated subscriber to the channel, you can now join my channel. It should be a button right next to the subscribe button, and the options are pretty cheap, so I'd say it is worth it. Yeah, in other words, peace. Woo!